So I'll just spread the card. I'll just move my finger like this, and you can just say stop whenever you want.
Stop.
Right here.
Yep.
Okay. I'm seriously not going to look at it, but you can look at it.
Oh, you need to bring it a bit down. Yeah, got it.
You got it?
Cool.
Cool. Okay. So this card goes right here in the middle of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Just like so. So I'm not going to look, but just so you can see.
Yep.
So nothing fishy is going on. I'm just going to press it just in the middle like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the weird thing is when you look to the card box over here, there's actually one card in it. So as you can see, there's one card right in the box. So it's empty now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm correct, it should be your card.
Oh, wow. It is. Hi, welcome back to the Headbangers podcast. I'm your host, Brad. Unfortunately, Nathan again can't be here today because he tested positive for COVID on Saturday. But here we are, here with Mendel. You might know him from his solo projects, you might know him from his producing, and you might know him from Aborted. How are you doing, man? Start off with.
I'm actually busy. I'm like redecorating my whole studio. I went to IKEA and that kind of stuff. So, but besides that, pretty busy, but good, healthy busy. So yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, so we like to start off with like a nice icebreaker. What's your funniest tour story?
Oh my God, Jesus. Man, this I'll shorten it down because it's a really long story. But we were touring in Japan, and me and another guitar player of a different band, System Divide. We were brought to a hotel, but the hotel was actually a cubicle where a lot of Japanese people like masturbate and that kind of stuff. So I had to sleep on a beanbag with certain sounds around me. Yeah.
Oh wow, that must have been quite the experience.
Oh my God, dude, it's the best. No.
I think when we were speaking to Cytotoxin, they were telling us, I think, about a tour that they went with you guys on, and they were doing like lady fights in the tour bus.
Oh my God. What?
So I've been waiting to ask you guys about
that. Okay. So, I say but because I'm not in Aborted anymore. But
yeah.
back when I was in Aborted, our merch dude and the driver from the US, awesome dude called Garrity, he had this idea. I can't even know. I don't even want to tell this, but he has this thing called lady fights. You, oh my God, where you put your penis between your legs and fight with someone else who has the same thing, and the first person where the penis goes like back into its place loses. That's basically it.
Did you partake in that?
No. But I remember I was like sleeping above and people screaming. And it was like 3 a.m. in the morning, and I went downstairs and I see two people fight like that. Like, okay, I'm going back up. This is idiots. Yeah.
I'm going back to bed, guys. I'm not.
That's it.
Right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got into like something I wanted to bring up as well. So what was it like leaving Aborted then? Do you feel like it was the best decision for you going forward to progress other areas of your life? Like what? Tell us about that process.
Yeah, actually for me, it so basically, so that year, 2018, my dad passed away in March. And
no
problem. He was 89, so I had an awesome life. But I remember, and it's probably a cliche thing, but when someone in your surrounding passes away, a lot of people have the thought like, okay, what do I want to do before I die?
Yeah. And
I was already playing in the Aborted for I think 7 years, maybe 8, but I think it was 7. And I noticed like the first tour we did after my dad passed away was the US tour. I noticed I was enjoying the hanging around way more than playing live or playing death metal or doing the performance. So that led up to a climax almost where I was like, okay, I don't enjoy this anymore. And like, it takes up a lot of time. And for me personally, I wanted to do different things with my career, if it's my solo music, but especially like composing and mixing and mastering bands. So it was basically going into like in a total different direction than performing live. But I still to this day, like the playing Aborted is one of my highlights of my life. Like I checked every country of my bucket list.
That's awesome.
Met amazing people, but at a certain point, like to come back to the thing, like what do I want to do before I die? Do I want to do like touring and playing shows like 4 or 5 months a year, like if you bind everything together, or do I want to invest the time in something different? And to me, that led up to the point something different.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of members of bands that, you know, as they go along after so many years, like they're like, you know, do I want to be tied down doing this forever? Like I feel like I've had my fun now. I've got these other avenues that I would like to go down, but I feel like with the band, it's going to just take up my entirety of my time. So, and I can see, I mean, I've got some more questions in the future about like what you're doing right now, but yeah, like I imagine you wouldn't have been able to do half the things that you're doing now if you were still an Aborted, because the touring and, you know, the writing of the albums, like that must be very taxing after a while.
It is like the guys even noticed it kind of, because when we were practicing for the European tour at the end of 2018, like my mind was even back then like not even fully focused on the band anymore. I was more focused about my business and mixing and mastering bands and developing myself as a composer. And I was actually like almost holding back the other guys, because I would show up at rehearsals not fully knowing all the new riff for the new album and kind of stuff. So yeah.
No, that is fair. So what your solo projects then, Mendel? Like what is it like? The pros and cons of being by yourself and writing, because I mean I've spoke to a few solo projects people before, and it's interesting to hear like their takes on, you know, the pros and cons of like jamming with a band and just having a full creative direction of yourself. So tell me about what your thoughts are on that for you, at least.
So the pros are like I can be very selfish, and with my solo project I can do exactly what I want to do, how exactly I want to do it.
Yeah.
Of course, some cons are most of it is instrumental. So there are no vocals. At least that's like for my solo stuff. Most of it is instrumental, and you have to pay for everything yourself.
Yeah.
It's like I'm lucky enough that I can mix my own music. I imagine some people would have to let someone else mix their music, that kind of stuff. So that's a pro. I would say for me personally, there are not a lot of cons, because I can like now, like I'm wrapping up my I think my 4th solo album, and I noticed it's a lot of I don't know, like it takes a lot of time, because it's progressive stuff, and like every prog snob has that thing like it's never done. Basically anyone who writes music, like when's it really done? But creative wise, I have to say I can't, like for me it's almost difficult, because I do like metal and it's progressive and it has like neoclassical influences, and that's almost like a barrier. So if like the cool thing with Aborted was, even though it was death metal, I had my writing style, but Ken, the drummer, also wrote a ton of stuff, and he has his style. And Ian, the other guitar player, writes a lot of stuff, and that could like combine into cool combinations. So with a solo thing, that's less so. But I would have to say there are some guest appearances on my new album, like some cool violin players and viola players, which give it some natural flavors. But to round that up, like this solo album will be the last metal solo album thing. Like I'm fully done with metal. Like perhaps on YouTube I would do like if a demo stuff, that's metal, but this will be the last metal thing. And then it's for me at least, I think, because my girlfriend says like, yeah, I heard that before. But at this point I say like this is the last metal release, and after this, if I will do more solo stuff, it won't be metal at all.
What would you like to play around with then? So, like, is there any genres like you're like, oh, okay, like you said, you wanted to put violins in it. So, where would you see it going?
Like, next? Man, because because for a lot of years, I wouldn't say scared, but I was like, okay, I'm not sure if I should implement like non-metal influences because then people might not like my music or people will stop listening to me on Spotify, that kind of stuff. But like well, I've been listening to metal like a long time, but even before metal, I was like when I was 8 or 9 or something. I loved hip hop,
Yeah.
and like 90s pop music is my favorite thing of all time. Like that, those
Best
early
era.
right, Britney Spears and Sing, and Destiny, like old Destiny's Child, that kind of stuff. Those chord progressions, oh my god, there's not even one metal album that could live up to that. Well, maybe Master of Puppets though, but still, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely nice to keep it open.
I even dare to say Master of Puppets could have some pop album. They're like the song Master of Puppets, that middle section. That could be, if Lars would be replaced with like an E Kid or something, it could be like a 90s pop song or something, I
Yeah.
think.
I mean, what is pop? Pop is popular, right? So, like, if you
Right.
look at the Black album, like that is pretty poppy because and the Sandman, everyone knows the lyrics to that song. Like, you could sing that. It's plays in clubs. Like, it's a very thin line, I think, between like certain pop genres and like popular metal bands as well.
Right.
Like, if you can sing along to it, that's pop to me. Like,
Yeah,
it's catchy.
yeah, that's I think I agree with that. But the thing is, like metal is very, well, not everybody's like, but metal like is very like has blinders on, and they're most people I think are not that open-minded about different genres, and that's why I'm really happy when you have a band called what's it? That's a new band, has a ton of hype, female vocalist who also screams. What's the band name?
Is it Spirit Box?
Spirit Box, that's it.
Yeah.
Dude, those influences, like I'm like, thank God they are getting big. Or for example, when God, what's that band from the UK that did like metalcore, screamcore, deathcore, and then went full on pop?
Oh, I was gonna say Code Orange, but I was like, that's not right.
Bring Me the Horizon, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're pretty smart, to be honest. Like I used to when I was like a little elitist kid, like I was like, I hate Bring Me the Horizon. And then now I'm like, I kind of respect them for changing up every album and like not just sticking to what the fans say that they should be doing. Like they're always like ahead of the game in that way.
Yeah, like for like I still love metal. Like metal is an awesome genre, but I feel like the cool thing with pop is it's so, in my opinion, so inventive with new sounds.
Yeah.
Like when you listen to Billie Eilish or listen to like from years ago, what's the Skrillex, that kind of stuff. Those are such big steps of new sounds. Even if they have in the chorus the same chord progression, it's a completely different sound. And with metal, it's really less so.
I wish more bands would like not be afraid to just get out there, you know what I mean, and don't worry about what the fans think. Like when they implement these new sort of parts into metal, that makes it more interesting and more dynamic. Like that Ghostman guy, he was like in the whole trap rap scene, and then he's decided to make like a bit of an experimental metal but rap but hardcore album. But that was like one of the most interesting releases to me last year because it combined two things I love, which is rap and metal, but also a whole ton of like industrial sounds into it. And I'm like, more people should do that. Like, don't be afraid to just try something.
I mean, what's the point of, let's say, if you're a kid and you grew up on Metallica, what's the point if you copy Metallica?
Yeah, what do you get?
I mean, you could even say like everybody, like 90% of the metal community could be, I think, atheist, believes in evolution. Why would you stop the tiny part of evolution of not involving your music?
Yeah,
I mean, that's it's so important. Yeah. So even for me, like on my last, so this solo album I'm working on, I'm like, okay, I've done this a lot of times, but is there something new I can bring to the table? Okay, I love film score, so perhaps I could implement into that instead of just doing blast beat, harmonic minor tremolo picking, and doing like blast beat kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So obviously another aspect of what you're doing at the moment, you do YouTube, right? So what was it like getting involved in that? And like, did you manage to see like the extent of reception that you've got now as opposed to when you first started? Like how was going into that, and what's like your idea for the future of it?
So basically I started doing it to like I noticed some people making what I saw, because there are no rules in mixing and mastering, but some odd choices and some bad advice. And like for example, they would tell what kind of EQ moves you have to do on guitar, and also on the videos I make for Cubase. And I try to, even when people ask me on Instagram or the kind of stuff, I say focus on the source. Like try to play the best you can, have a guitar that's properly set up, then look at the amp, and then in the end, like even now I'm mixing a band, and there's barely anything I do at the guitar because they played really well, they played really well, and there's not a lot of changes you have to make. So I try to, that knowledge that I learned from while recording with different producers with Aborted, like Jacob Hansen and Nicola Keller, those guys absolutely know their stuff. So I remember with Jacob Hansen, like he made sure that we set up our guitars very properly, had very good equipment to record.
Yeah.
So he would have to do as minimum later in the mixing phase. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So sometimes I try to do kind of funny stuff with YouTube, but I noticed that most people, and it is like I did a poll a couple of weeks ago, like what do you want to see on my solo stuff or mixing and mastering, that kind of stuff. 70% said mixing and mastering. So I was like, okay, nobody fucking cares about my solo music. But yeah.
Would you rather them care more about the producing, or would you rather them care more about your music?
Oh man, I was more about the music, but the cool thing is a lot of mixing and mastering stuff I show on YouTube, I can show partly my solo music, and people like ask about like where's the music from, even though the links are in the comments, but still, yeah.
Yeah. Just implement as much of your music as you can. So like little adverts in there just so people like, oh yeah,
Right.
the music as well.
Yep.
But yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I suppose like, giving advice about, the producing and the mastering and whatnot as well. Like it is something, especially like a lot of prog kids, like, they love that kind of stuff. Like they eat that shit up for breakfast.
Yeah. And like sometimes there were, like, for example, the past 3 bands I mixed, well, not per se in a row, but there were 3 or 4 bands in a time span of 4 to 5 months, which all had the same mistake. So everybody, so there's one thing, and people, if you see this, listen. So there's one thing that almost every metal guitar player gets wrong, and I swear to God, almost all of them. Like I said, I had this with 3 to 4 bands in time span of 5 months. So they practice their ass off. That's awesome. They buy a good equipped guitar. They have good cables and they have a good interface, and they can record good DIs, work with good amps. But what a lot of people don't realize is that your pickup height, that like the difference between the strings and your guitar pickup, especially with those active pickups, like everyone uses like EMGs or Seymour Duncans or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if that's too close to your string, all your dynamic of your playing is gone. Like it's done. It's done. So like so they play the best they can. I get the files, and like all like the DIs are all like chopped off, so there are no dynamics, and basically your whole playing is lost. So if you see this, lower your active pickups. So there's at least like, I don't know, like perhaps like almost a centimeter of space, and that will greatly improve your recording. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a guitar player and you're listening, sort your shit out, man.
Yeah. Lower your pickups.
Please.
Yeah, please, for the sake of Jesus. I'm kidding.
I do want to say as well, like going on about producing as well. What are like some of the common misconceptions that you didn't realize at first about producing, or that you see that go around about producing? All these common misconceptions that you've debunked over the years.
Oh man, that's a good one. Misconceptions. So some people think that if you use samples, that's like cheating, and that's in my opinion the dumbest thing ever. Like in my opinion, samples can enhance the performance greatly. That you have to EQ your guitar a lot. That's, oh man. Like I started to use less and less EQ, and to my ears, it could be wrong though, but just to my ears, my productions get better because I try to focus more on getting the source right.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's a good one. More misconceptions. I don't really know. I think that's the, oh man, you got me there. I have no idea what to say after that. I think mainly that. Get your sources. Like people think, I don't know. That's basically it. Like a lot of people think that. Well, okay. So I wouldn't say a misconception, but one thing that wish I saw more was like vision of a band. That beforehand they have like a vision where they want to go to, how the album
Yeah.
sounds. That's a that's one that's mainly missing. Because the thing is, like I think just DI recording and then reamping. I think that's a mainly, well, I wouldn't say mainly, but a lot of done in metal versus other genres. Where with other genres they really set up the amp and try to get the sound beforehand. That's also done in metal, but I think it's more that like DI recording. You see that less I think in pop, because that's where they have like a real clear vision how it has to sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say like how it sounds, do you mean like how the song's gonna go, or do you mean like the literal like dynamics of the song and how the guitars are tuned and whatnot?
Yeah, both I'd say.
Okay.
Like for example, there's, oh my god, like so I finished my education at the Academy of Pop Culture in Leeuwarden, and I noticed that with pop writing, dude, there's so much focus on just the fundamentals of the song, and with a metal song, I think some bands don't even realize how much impact something could have if they would keep the part exactly the same, but instead of playing something open, played palm muted. Like just that could make a whole huge difference. And I remember when I studied composition somewhere in Groningen, which is like a province here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I remember that composer told me, because I was like, yeah, I want to be like Hans Zimmer and Danny Elfman. I want to do all that stuff. He said, just write a song with a pop structure, like intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse
Yeah.
2 or something, chorus, outro, just that. And I think if some metal bands would just do that, just that, like the pop, I don't know how you call it, that setup,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
right? Just that fundamental, they could write the songs way better. But somehow they just listen to Master of Puppets and they want to do an 8-minute songs for the sake of it, of 8 minutes.
I think as well, like with the song structures, I think sometimes people get a bit too technical that they lose the structure of the song itself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the pop structure can work well for a metal song, and sometimes you'll find it more memorable as well, as opposed to just like 8 minutes of just pure like solos and just crazy shit going on, which I like, obviously, but sometimes I don't know where to catch the groove in here. Like, where's the groove?
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's I fully agree. That's all I can add to it. Yep.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, it's interesting to be honest with like song structures and whatnot, but yeah, I want to get into your personal life as well. So I know that you're a bit of a gamer. So which game do you look back on when your childhood like most fondly? Like which one you look back? That's the classic right there.
Ocarina of Time, easily.
Hell
like
yeah.
I don't have tattoos, but I think of getting a tattoo either this year or next year, and it will be a Zelda tattoo easily. And I'm the worst though, because I don't have a Switch and I haven't played Zelda games in 10 years easily. But I mean, oh my god, that
you need to play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I should, dude. Everyone in my surroundings says, dude, play Breath of the Wild. Like it's cool.
Good reason, man.
Right? It's funny. Like people say, hey man, it's cool you have a PS5, but I haven't played Breath of the Wild, and I haven't. Yeah, I should. But lately, like I think Ocarina of Time had a huge impact on me. Final Fantasy X. I'm currently playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is really cool so far.
Yeah, good one.
What are the childhood games? I think 2001 with that, because I was born in '88, but still 2001. I played Medal of Honor Allied Assault, was really cool. And I'm blank now. Yeah, even the first Zelda was really cool on the first Nintendo. But that was hard. Jesus, it was so hard. It still is.
Yeah, I find Zelda really hard, to be honest. Like Breath of the Wild is a good entry level Zelda for me because it kind of introduces you kind of nicely. Like it gives you a lot of hints, and you almost get a helping hand throughout the entire game, even though it has
Okay.
its challenges here and there. But when I play Ocarina of Time, I think because I didn't really grow up with Zelda, to be honest, like it's very, very hard and challenging for me. So
Yep.
I need to proper sit down and give it the old college try again because, yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
Zelda's
So
hard,
good.
relentless, man.
Yeah, and the soundtrack's amazing as well. My goodness.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
smash it out of the park every time.
Yep.
So I know that you're obviously passionate about gear, just judging by YouTube channel, and I want to ask, like, if you could, if you only could keep one piece of your gear, and the rest had to be destroyed, what would you keep and why?
Oh my God. Well, I can't do anything without my interface or my PC, but I think that's a no-brainer. I would think, oh my God. I think my lag guitar, because that's my favorite guitar. It's the red one. I've had this for exactly 11 years now. This
That is
thing.
a nice guitar.
Yeah, it is. No, it is absolutely the best thing I've played in my life. It's absolutely stunning. There's a new custom guitar coming up from a Van der Meij, which is a Dutch builder. But so far, this is absolutely stunning. Like they knocked it right out of the park. Yes, absolutely stunning. So I could, like, if my house would be on fire, I would take my girlfriend. But if I would first grab my hand on my girlfriend or the guitar, that might be debatable. No, it would be the guitar. No, I'm kidding. It's my girlfriend. Yeah, of course. But that's the guitar.
Can't decide girlfriend guitar.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, like, I try to be, and you. Well, probably you wouldn't agree if you would see my studio, but when it's cleaned up and the whole changing of stuff is done, I like to be as simple and as minimalistic as possible. So I have one interface here, one keyboard. I have the quad Cortex over here, and my speakers, just because I need them. I can't mix without them. But I don't want, dude. If someone would give me $1 million, I would never even ever have in my life like a big rack with all these mixing compressors and that kind of stuff. No, just no. I try to be as minimalistic as possible, as functional. Yeah.
See, that's the thing with being minimalistic. Like I've always wanted to try and be like that, and I think for the next few years I want to strive to do that because I'm always being a bit of a hoarder. So I just latch onto certain things that I know I don't need, but yet for some reason I just can't let go of them, even though they're completely pointless. And like it doesn't help that I got into vinyl collecting as well. So that's just like another thing added to the list of items.
I know exactly how you feel, but at a certain point, like people, you don't have to do cold turkey. Like for me, first I started removing stuff I haven't used for a year. Last year or even 2 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna rip all my CDs to CD quality. So whenever I want to listen to high quality, I can listen to it. And I got rid of all my CDs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, everything. I think I had hundreds of them.
Was it hard to like get rid of them all?
Dude, it was the best feeling I've ever had in my life. No, dude, it's so good. And even like we go to last week we went to like the dump, like the place where you can dump all your stuff and it goes shipped to whenever. Like we did that almost 5 times this year. And it declutters your entire life. Even like I found a lot like big boxes of old pictures of me. Like I have 5 big boxes of pictures from when I was a kid, of my mom and my whole family, that kind of stuff. Even now I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to get one of these devices where I can put like 200 pictures and it scans 200 pictures in a couple of minutes. So I have everything digital in high quality life and then get rid of all the pictures.
Life hacks with Mendel.
Yeah. Because I want like, I even told my girlfriend when we're gonna move, like perhaps next year. The only thing I want to take with me is my PC, my studio gear, my TV, and my PlayStation 5. That's it. I don't want to have more because I don't need it. Even with books, like I try to get rid of all my books, try to get some digital so it doesn't take up any space.
I like that, to be honest. It is hard sometimes to let go of like certain items, but the way that you describe it, it does sound like kind of freeing in a way.
Dude, it's dude for your mental health, dude. I would really try to say to you, just just go to a friend and dump your vinyl collection, and then go back to your normal life. And if you haven't thought about that vinyl collection, like perhaps even 2 times in a month, then you probably don't need that vinyl collection.
Yeah, that is a good point. I think it's when you don't notice that it's gone after a while and you don't miss it. Obviously, there's a preconception before, and that you're gonna miss it. You're gonna 3 months time. I missed that little figurine that was on top of my shelf. It's like you probably won't. You probably won't miss a lot of things.
The best tip about that: take a picture of this figurine and then sell it. So at least have the picture whenever you think about it.
Yeah, that is a good point.
That's what I had also, like, important stuff like signed posters from guitar players. Took a picture of it, so it's always like sitting on my hard drive or in the cloud. Done.
Would you say like there's anything that you've got rid of that you do miss and you do regret, or everything that you've done you're like, I have no regrets.
I have no
now.
regrets at all. No regrets at all. Like there's even nothing. Like I thought I would have regretted, like getting away of some CDs that were very personal to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, why should I attach a part of my life to a physical object? There could be some exceptions. Like if someone would get like in Pulp Fiction, like the dad is like the watch from the dad. Like obviously that would be something very hard to be let go of.
Yeah.
But that's one thing. Like if you would go to here's a basic tip to some people. If you haven't used it for 1 year, you probably won't use it in that year or the next year.
Yeah, that is so true. Like I could look around my room right now and I could probably spot at least 1,000 things that I just don't need, but I've got. But I still got that attachment. But I think I'm planning to move out like this year with my girlfriend. So I think then I might use it as a fresh start, just to leave everything behind in my old house and just, only bring what I need and see if it makes me feel any better, because I generally think it will.
How about this? Sell and throw away all the stuff now, so when you go moving, you're done.
Yeah, that's it. Completely done.
Yeah, and even try getting rid of one object a week or one object a day if you want to. And it could be a paperclip or a pen or a book even. Just give it to someone or put it on eBay or anything. But yeah, I could really recommend it to anyone. Yeah.
I feel like out of context, this conversation sounds like you're trying to give me advice on like giving up drugs or giving up like smoking or something.
No,
buy a little dog or cold turkey right away. Just do one bit at a time.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, but no, seriously, oh man, it's so freeing. And I had that feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss those fucking CDs. I bought that CD there on tour and bought that CD back in 2005 and that kind of stuff. No.
Well, you keep the memories up here. Like these time in your life is not going to go. It's not just in an object. Like it's something that you keep as a memory as opposed to that. So it doesn't need to be physical.
And like I said, like if you have an emotional value of it, take a picture of it or a couple of pictures of it, and then get it away or give it away. Give it to someone who really likes or needs it.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. Actually, I will keep that in mind.
Do it.
What are some of your hobbies and interests that people might not know about you? So things that you don't display on social media, things that you are interested in and you like to do in your spare time.
I've been studying card magic for 15 years.
Wow, that is not what I expected. Tell me everything.
So back in I have like a huge playing card collection which I've been collecting, and to be honest, with the whole minimalism thing, I put all the playing card decks that I don't use anymore on eBay, but like still to this day, no one has bought them. But so, oh man, it's not that long of a story. But in 2001, when I was 13 or 12 something, my English teacher, he showed me a videotape of David Blaine. It was like the first David Blaine, the magician.
Yeah, I've heard of him,
like the street magic thing. And then it was cool, was really impressed, but did nothing with it. But then in 2005, when YouTube got launched, someone put up a video of Darren Brown, his card magic repertoire. And this was during Darren Brown's first TV show, I think, if I'm correct. Yeah, Darren Brown. And the routine blew me away. It still blew me away, but I was like, okay, I want to know how he does it. And that routine was like an 8-minute routine or something. It's one of the most like sick, awesome, difficult card routines like out there. And it still is, but like, I wanted to learn that. And then, yeah, I started with one video, and then I started collecting card magic books. And I really wanted to go into the underground, the whole nerdy, like the hardest card tricks, the very hardest card tricks ever. That like, if you look at it, it looks like a cool card trick, but if you're a magician, like, okay, he knows his shit.
Yeah.
I've been studying card tricks for 15 years, and card magic, and the whole world about that. Should I show you a trick?
I was literally going to ask you that. I was like, would you do a trick? Because I feel like this is a missed opportunity if not.
Let me see if for these.
And trust me, I'm pretty fucking gullible when it comes to like magic and stuff. So you could impress me with anything right now.
That's a good one. Let me see if I have. Okay, is this a good one? Okay. Let me see this. I need to make some space here.
Okay.
All right, I'll just use my mouse pad as some card magic tape. Let's see if this works. So can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it fine, yeah.
Okay. So I'll just spread the card. I'll just move my finger like this, and you can just say stop whenever you want.
Stop.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay, I'm seriously not going to look at it, but you can look at it.
Oh, you need to bring it a bit down. Yeah, got it.
You got it?
Cool.
Okay. So this card goes right here in the middle of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Just like so. So I'm not going to look, but just so you can see.
Yep.
So nothing fishy is going on. I'm just going to press it just in the middle like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the weird thing is, when you look to the card box over here, there's actually one card in it. So as you can see, there's one card right in the box. So it's empty now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm correct, it should be your card.
Oh, wow. It is.
There you go.
Damn.
So the last one, I'll do one more just for fun.
Okay.
Okay, so you can say stop whenever you want when I'm just spreading the cards.
Stop.
Right here. Again, I'm not going to look. Can you see it like this?
Yep.
Okay. So it goes back into the middle of the deck. And what I'll actually do is I'll grab half of the deck, just like so. So one half is face up and one half is face down. And what I'll do is I'll shuffle those halves together, just like so. So you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it like this, but we have cards that are face up.
Mm-hmm.
And there are cards that are face down. And there are cards that are back to back. So everything's mixed up. Okay?
Yep.
So when I snap my fingers, just like that, you can actually see that all cards are straightened out again. Except for one card in the middle, and that should be your card.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you do it, man?
Oh, I know, it's magic. Absolute magic.
I'm guessing you won't tell me because a magician never reveals his secrets, right?
This is the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm impressed, to be fair.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's that. And oh man, what else? I love reading. I used to solve Rubik's cubes a lot, all that nerdy stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. I love movies, but that's pretty mainstream, I think. But yeah.
I mean, to
Basically,
be fair,
like
you've already blown me away with a magic trick. So like that's definitely something that caught me off guard, and I do like surprises. So yeah, that is
there
gonna
you
be
go.
fun. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah,
it's been a fun segment of the show.
there you go.
So obviously you were in Aborted. Like, what are some of the most treasured moments for you looking back?
Oh man, playing Wakan was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Japan, going to the United States, basically doing what you love, touring the world with your best friends. Basically, that's amazing.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that to be honest basically sums it all up. Yeah, just touring with your best buds all over the world. Playing with my favorite bands that I look up to when I was younger. Touring with Black Dahlia Murder was awesome. Probably gonna forget like a lot of bands, but definitely that was a highlight. Touring with Vader with my first tour. I love that band so much, and yeah, playing all these festivals with all these amazing bands. Yeah, basically that.
No, you can't complain. We like traveling the world, seeing all your favorite bands, like being with your
Right.
best
Yeah.
mates. Like, can't complain with that at all. What was like some of the most interesting places that you went to them?
Oh,
You said
definitely.
Japan, which is cool.
Yeah, Japan was amazing. We went to Japan twice. Oh man, I cherish Japan still to this day. I absolutely love that culture. I love the people.
Yeah, so
Canada was amazing. Maple syrup for life.
oh yeah.
And oh my god, Russia was interesting. But I have to say Japan and Canada for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really gutted to be honest, because this September, me and my girlfriend were meant to go to Japan, to Turkey,
Okay.
yeah. But because they're on the I think they're on the amber or the red list here in the UK, so we can't actually go visit. Which is
Okay.
disappointing because last year was obviously cancelled as well. We were meant to go then. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that 2022 will be the one. Because I really
Cool,
want to go.
Oh man, dude, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it to death. Absolutely stunning country. Yep.
Absolutely. I can't wait. So we are sort of getting to the end point of the interview now, and one way that we always like to leave it is, what advice would you give to your younger self, and what advice would you give to a new sort of musician that's wanting to get involved in it?
What advice would I give to my younger self? Jesus Christ, dude.
Doesn't even have to be like musically related. Just what advice would you give?
Oh man, dude, this is going to sounds so egoistic, but I don't think I would give advice because I'm so happy where I'm now and so happy about the choice I've made. Like the only thing I could say, and that wouldn't change the course, it would go back in life, but I say to my younger self, like, keep doing the stuff that makes you happy, because that's the most important thing ever in the world. And it's like, I feel, especially in the Netherlands, because we're really sober, like not a lot of people say that, because like the cringe factor is like really easily ignited, especially with me. Like when even at family gatherings, when people say like, "Oh my God, like the weather was amazing," like I cringed really fast, which is stupid. But just saying like, just do the things that make you happy. Like I that's the most important thing in your life. Don't be a fucking dick, and do things that make you happy. It's so important.
Well, as you're a magician, I do like surprises, and that was a surprise answer. But no, I think I like that. Like you wouldn't change anything, because a lot of people are, tell myself to do this, tell myself to do that. But at the end of the day, it led you to where you are now. And sometimes you've got to go through the bad choices to be able to appreciate the good choices that you make in the future.
Yeah.
Like not everything's going to be a smooth sail. And sometimes it builds character to, go through the trepidations of life. So I think that's probably one of the better answers that we've had on here. So I like that.
And the second question was, what would you say to a new musician?
Yeah, just like a new musician that's wanting to get started and, is a bit apprehensive about it, perhaps.
Try on, and this is so hard for a new musician, but try to be original. Like try to do something new, or else, in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong about this, I'm not the music industry expert, but if you don't try to achieve something new. Like most people probably won't care.
Yeah.
And you can see it in the mainstream stuff, even in the metal stuff. Like Spirit Box is so fucking good because it's a new sound. Like there are tons of bands where a girl can scream and sing, but how they do it with the whole music around it and the whole visual thing they present, it's awesome. It's fucking stunning. So try to find your, oh my God, dude, I sound like a fucking grandpa, this 60, but
back in my day.
Try to find your own sound, which is hard at the beginning because you're just learning, but try to make something unique. For me, like there aren't a lot of bands who put like a harpsichord instrument in their music, and I love harpsichords to death. Like it's one of the most fascinating instruments. So I try to incorporate it in a modern way. So yeah, try to find your own sound, or else it has no point. There's no point to making music, in my opinion, except for making music and getting out of the system. But if you're a new musician and you want to get bigger, be original. Make something new.
I mean, to be fair, you could look at like the bands over the last couple of years, and you can see that the bands that do change it up and add some more elements into it are the ones that are receiving all the praise and the ones that are receiving all the publicity that they need. Like Code Orange and, like you said, Spirit Box and Ghostman. Like just do, like you said, just do something new, and then people will notice. Because if you're just in the sea of bands that all sound like each other, then you're not going to get noticed. Really, you're just going to get
right. So like, because I've had the question a lot during the years. Like, okay, hey, we're a band, man. You play in Aborted. What should we do to get higher up? And I say, let's say there's a famous promoter or like a big ass label like Nuclear Blast something, or a gig at Wacken, for an example. If you are in a jar with 99 other bands, why would someone pick you out instead of the 99 other ones?
Yeah.
Like what's your, oh my God, it's such a shitty term, but it's true. What's your unique selling point? Like what do you bring to the table that other bands don't?
It's like a job interview, right? Like,
what?
It's like a job interview. So, if you're not unique, then you're not going to get picked. That's it.
No, so why would you get picked out? What's that special thing that other bands don't do? Like if you look to, okay, for example, to round it up, when you look to Meshuggah live, have you seen Meshuggah live?
I'm seeing them next year, hopefully. So,
dude, that band sounds amazing. It's probably the best metal band on the planet, in my opinion.
Very talented.
But adding to that, dude, the light show, dude, you will be blown away. It's amazing. It's the whole experience. That band live without their sound guy would be way less entertaining, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes for it. I think as well, like I can't relate to being a musician. Like, I can't play for shit. But I can relate to the podcast anyway, because when we first started, like we wanted to ask bands and musicians like questions that they wouldn't be asked by Loudwire or something. Like, I always thought, why does everyone ask all the same questions? And it just got a bit tedious. I like to learn about the person, and we were more inspired by someone like Sean Evans that does Hot Ones on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Like, to me, he's the best interviewer that there is on there, because the way that he delves into people's personalities, what they're actually interested in, like not just speaking about the one thing that they did that time. Like, that to me is more interesting than don't get me wrong, like I love a lot of metal podcasts. Like, I'm a big fan of Vox and Hops, but there is certain interviewers out there that just ask the same generic questions, and that's why they don't stand out. So I think that's what the kind of approach that we wanted to go for with this.
Yeah. And like with, oh my God, like there's such an how should I say this? People are gonna hate me for this, but I think there's an overall lack of depth into personality, with especially when I wouldn't say per se especially, but there's a lack of depth overall with I don't even know how to say this. Like, metal is a genre where people are like really tough, right? And like everybody knows, like on stage we're really tough, but when we're off stage, we're probably the sweetest people on the planet.
Exactly.
I would say.
Exactly.
And there's a certain depth lacking that people, like need to express. I'd say I have even no idea where I'm going with this, but I don't know how I should say this, but like getting more on a personal level. Dude, if someone's listening to this and wants to write music, dude, just dig into yourself. What do you want to get out there, and how should it feel? Like you said, I remember in 2018 or 2019 or something. Like even now, I don't listen to a lot of metal. When I work out, that's when I listen to metal, and of course when I mix. I remember I was on YouTube and Code Orange passed by, and from the million of bands, I felt Code Orange.
Yeah.
Like I saw that video, it's that black and white video. I can't remember just, but it's the most famous song.
Forever.
But I'm like, holy what?
Yeah. Was it Forever?
Oh, it could be. I gotta go look it up. Now I have to know what the song is.
Yeah.
1 second.
Code Orange do hit differently. They are good.
Oh my god, dude. Is it? It was called. It's Forever. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when that hit, I'm like, yes, that's what we need. You feel it. You know it. You feel that anger, that depth. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, completely agree. But yeah, thank you so much. It's been a very insightful conversation, and you definitely had a few surprises in there, which is what I like. I like to be surprised, and I'm glad I could show you magic tricks on the channel. So
there you go.
I'm waiting, like, hopefully someone will comment like, "Oh, I know how he did this." I'm like, "Yes, he didn't tell me, so I'm gonna find out." But yeah, no, that was
Thank
cool,
you.
man.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing what you're gonna do next, and all the best of luck with your solo project you're producing and your YouTube channel. It's been really fun talking to you, man.
Likewise, dude. Have a great day and an awesome week.
Yeah, and stay safe.
Cheers, dude. Bye.